Hi, in this video we will use Python Scattertext package, and also we'll use SpaCy. This video is about NLP, natural language processing, so that we will use these packages and try to use Scattertext to create an interactive HTML plot. This video is again I will try to divide into two. One is the Scattertext, using Scattertext and SpaCy, and other video we'll try to use another topic model library, GenSim. So let us move forward and let us see what is the Scattertext library is all about. It's a tool for finding distinguishing terms in a corpora, and we try to create interactive HTML scatter plots so that we can compare one category with other. So the particular website has all those details you can look through, and in this case they have used a particular dataset where they compared one party words used by one party with another party. It's a US two-party system, so they have used that particular dataset. So go ahead and download that library, and once you download that library in your Python virtual environment, go ahead and use these libraries and load it into your system. And I'll also leave the this particular details of the file, all those files which I have used, links also in the description box. And we'll also use another open source package called as SpaCy, and most of the people who are from NLP who have used Python, they must be aware of SpaCy. So let us see what is SpaCy all about. Again, like I said, SpaCy is a open source library which is used for a lot of applications in NLP. It is, it is one of the most popular packages for NLP processing. So click on that link on the file, or I will show you that particular window. And once you click on that window, you should be able to see what SpaCy is all about. Like I said, it's pretty easy to install. If you see, the installations are up here. Well, let us click on SpaCy homepage, and this is where you start. You can look through that particular website and see how you can install. It's pretty, I think, user intuitive in the sense, so that you can install those whatever operating system you have. Based on that, you can load this particular library onto your system. And they have given you different sections. So what are the features, and what are the applications architecture as such. If you scroll down, like I said, it's a free open source library for advanced NLP, and you can use it on any kind of data set, and whatever research questions you have, you should be able to answer them. And they have also given you the limitations, what SpaCy can do or can't do. And like I said, you can load it based on your operating system. Preferably you try to use a virtual environment in Python, so that your library Scattertext and SpaCy live in that environment. It will not break your original Python environment. So a virtual environment is the way to go, and it's pretty easy. Follow the steps and also load the models which they have trained. We are going to use one model in our example. So once you have that package, already you might have downloaded Scattertext and also try to load this SpaCy. And once you import SpaCy and load that model, we are using web small model which they have trained, so that will be useful for us to parse our data. The summary column in our dataset has a lot of words, so that we can use those that particular column and parse those words. So like I said, we are going to use another data set which is coming from TidyTuesday. So if I'm going to leave this file in the description box, so that you can click on that link, or maybe go to Google or some other web search engine and search for TidyTuesday R. So it will take you to this website. They release all those data sets every week. I think it's there since 2018. It's a pretty good place for you to get real world data sets, so that if you're using any kind of programming language or BI tools, you can load these data sets. It's kind of hands-on, right? Experience when you're trying to learn a new tool or trying to get into data analytics, it will be useful for you to work on real world data sets. So year wise, they have about, I think, 52 every year. They release it. They'll tell you the data, what is the data, what is the source, and if there are any articles associated, they'll also list them. So every year, every week, they will release those data sets which you can download. And I was interested in, while looking through, I was interested in one particular data set, which is in 2023. Let us scroll down to that particular data set and see. It is on 620. So this is, I thought it an interesting data set. It's about UFOs, unidentified flying objects. People have seen those things, I believe, and they have reported to a particular website here, Norfolk National UFO Reporting Center. So they have kind of given this data to Tidy Tuesday people. So those are the files, 3 files, and every file in this particular repository, Tidy Tuesday, they give what is the data set is about. Mostly it is CSV files. It will give you in this particular CSV, it will give you what is the variable, what is the type of data type, and also description. And there are different ways you can download the data. We'll try to use only this particular UFO sightings CSV file. You can scroll down to that file, right click on it, and save as. That is one way to save it onto your desktop. Or you can go click on view raw, or go to the right and download. If you have GitHub, you can download it, that particular CSV file. Or we will try to, in our case today, we will try to copy this on the first UFO sightings thing which I have highlighted. Go to that particular link. We can directly load that particular CSV file into our system and use it for our analysis. So we'll copy that, right click on it, copy, which I've already done. I've posted in my argument for read CSV pandas. So once I paste that, go ahead and paste it in your, if you're following along in your own Jupyter Notebook, paste it and try to load that into your Jupyter Notebook. The data is loading. Data is there, and once it loads, we will see what are the top 2 rows. And quickly we have seen the website, but we wanted to see here. Yes, those are the columns. There are date columns, and also city, state, country code, shape, what is the shape which they have seen, and all that stuff. Duration, that is also interesting. And we're also interested in that summary column, like I mentioned, so which has a lot of sentences. When they have seen UFOs, they have described the interaction. So those things are there, and there is a day part 2. So let us try to see what is, by using pandas info function. Let us see what type of data types are there. Visually we could identify, but we'll make sure that by running this, we'll see those things up here, which is I think there are about 96,429 rows in our data, and there are 12 columns, and the usage is also given. Memory usage is 8.2 plus MB, and there are different data types: Boolean, float, and there are objects. So object data types, those are there, and we'll see if there are any NA missing values by running this particular cell. I do see that there are missing values here. So let us try to drop them, and by using in place equal to true, we have those things appearing in our data frame. And run that cell, and let us quickly see the summary sample. I think it looks good, because this is the column which we want to see. Try to work on this particular column, and initially we will try to clean the data, because there are a lot of things which we want to remove or filter. So as a first step, from NLTK, in case if you don't have the package, go ahead and download that Python package NLTK. And from NLTK, there is something called as stop words, like, most of the words like and, most common used words are kind of removed from your summary column. Let us load that as a set and apply on our summary column using a list comprehension. That way, those common words are removed from our summary column, And further, in case if you want, you can also clean it up further. You can remove the white space and as such remove all the words and try to find the word boundaries. It depends on you. You can remove punctuations and all. Since we are hard pressed, I'm not doing hard pressed for time. I'm not doing that, but you can go ahead and add more lines so that your data looks clean. The cleaner the data, the better for you when you try to use Scattertext. Let us apply this clean text function on our summary column and quickly look at samples. At least for now, this looks good. Let us move along. Let us try to create a subset from the original dataset. We'll take only 4 columns: country code, shape, duration, and summary, and load it in a df text variable. So that way we have only 4 columns. And let us quickly count the country code by using value counts. We do see that among all the countries, 84,000 odd observations are in USA. That means most of the observations, 85-90%, are there in US. So that is a good thing for us. When we create Scattertext, we can create 2 categories: USA observations versus other countries. That way Scattertext plot looks good. So now that we have already done this part, let us go and parse the speech using SpaCy. And SpaCy, again, it's again a new another package which is there in the market for the past several years, and this is used by a lot of NLP. People are using NLP using Python, so that is also a pretty good package, like we have already seen. And from that particular we have already created NLP object. So from that particular thing, we'll apply NLP on this particular summary column. And this will take a while. In my case, it took about 15-20 minutes. So in case if you have a powerful PC, it will happen faster. So now that we are done, we'll come back here and let us see sample 5 so that we'll see what happened. So our summary column is intact, and also there is a new column parsed by using NLP object from SpaCy. It has kind of given you a tokenized form of the sentences. If you see the left and right comparison, you see those kind of things are kind of divided into tokens. Again, tokens is nothing but you're breaking text into smaller parts for machine analysis, so that it will help all the machines to understand human language. So that is what exactly the parser has done. The SpaCy parser has done for us. And also it has also, like I said, tokenized and lemmatized and stemming. Lemmatization is nothing but it's a process of reducing a word to its base. For example, if the verb walk is there, walk would be like, for example, it could people, in any text it could be like walks or walked or walking. So what it does is the lemmatization will kind of remove those inflectional endings, such as in our case, like walks has an S, walked has a ED, and walking has a ING, and it will remove those things and it will reduce it to base form. In this case, walk will be the base form. So that is what is happening here. So once that is done, now again, if people are coming from NLP, they will clearly understand this part. I don't have to explain it to them. But otherwise, if you're somebody watching for the first time and trying to understand NLP, I suggest you to kind of look at documentation, or there are a lot of experts, so you can watch those videos so that it will help you. It's a very wide area, NLP. So there are a lot of things happening in NLP, and as such we have those LLMs last couple of years. So there is it's like an ocean. So try to understand that part, maybe get quick tours. Like I said, this column has given us that parsed column by running the parser, and we have this tokenized and lemmatizations and stemmings have been done on that. And we have the parse column. The reason why we have done that is the scatter text, when we are using these functionalities, it expects parsed column, which is like tokenized and lemmatized, so that the scatter, when you try to create the HTML interactive scatter plot, that will be easy for you to use this kind of method. So that's the reason why we have used SpaCys. So now that this is done, the next step is for us to create a Scattertext corpus. So this is a very important thing, like they have mentioned. This is from the documentation. So we will try to follow those steps from the documentation. We'll use from Scattertext corpus from parsed documents function, which expects three at least arguments. We pass the df text and the category column as country code, because we wanted to pitch USA versus other countries, and we'll pass the parsed column 2 and build the corpus. It might take a while, maybe a couple of minutes for it to build, and once we have that, we can see those term frequencies by using the get term frequency function from this corpus. So I think it should be ready now. Most of the time, most likely, yes, it is ready. Now let us try to run this cell too. Once we run that, we have those term frequencies. Let us see what are the top 5 frequencies. So you can see here on the top, those are the various countries like US, Australia, Italy, India, and so on. And on the left hand side, you see top to bottom you have your terms. And if, for example, very was spoken 1342 in US, bright 14,761, and so on. So you have 5 rows here and 147 columns. So the when we created this corpus and got the term frequencies out of it, we could see these things have been created, and we see them here. And as the next step, we'll try to get the scaled F scores too from this particular corpus, so that we'll know what are the top 10 words. Like I said, NewFork is a website where it collects all this information. Hovering, fireball, arts, triangular, hovered are the words. Now, now that we have done this, we have loaded a data set, and we have used cleaned it up, and also used a SpaCy parser. Now it's the time for us to create a standalone HTML file which will contain unigrams or words which are displayed as points on a scatter plot, where the x and y axis are dense ranks. In our case, we wanted to create x axis or other countries. Y axis will be USA. And when we have looked at the data briefly, 80% of the sightings, 80% plus are from USA. So we'll compare USA terms with other country terms. So the next steps are like how can we pass those things into the produce Scattertext explorer function. So first we'll pass the corpus, then we'll name US as the category, and the category name will be USA. Again, this category US is coming from our category column, which we have passed for Scattertext when we created the corpus. And we'll create something called as other countries category, and we will try to use duration seconds as metadata, so that when you look at those scatter text and click on any point, it will give you the duration seconds. And once this will create, again remember, this particular file is going to be about 9 or 10 MB. So when you try to open it in your browser, it might crash, or it might ask you to click on wait. It will take like 5 minutes or so for the particular web browser to open up. Now that we have done this part, we can see the comparison. On the left hand side is our Jupyter Notebook. On the right hand side is the web page we have created. This is again interactive. As you can see, if you remember, we have seen this in Scattertext library web page, homepage. So similarly, we have created here. It was pretty easy for us to create. And like you see, on the whatever terms or words which are there, they are colored by their association, meaning USA is in color blue and other countries are in red. And each dot on that scatter plot corresponds to a word or phrase mentioned by the person whenever they have seen UFOs. So whenever they have seen, they have briefly explained what the interaction was about. So each dot corresponds to that particular word used by them. And the closer a dot to the top of the plot means it is used by USA and people in the USA. And the further to the right on the bottom means, or to the right on the top means it is used by other countries. And also there could be overlap, right? People might have used the same words. After all, it's English language, so people have used the same words. They tend to occur in upper right hand corner. And you can pause the video and probably read up on the whatever was written on the left, so that it will be easy for you to kind of look at the HTML file which we have created and click on those points. For example, I click on Colorado, it is saying that 30, 1920, 180 and all those like 300 are the seconds duration, and also it will tell you what exactly the description is. And again, if you click on bottom right, again that is on the x-axis, you see, for example, we click on Queensland or any other term. Let us go ahead and click on, say, for example, Queensland. And by clicking on Queensland, you can see the same thing, right? The numbers on the top are your seconds and the 9 mentions in 9 available documents. All those things are there. And like I said, terms are colored by their association. Those are more associated with USA are blue, and more associated with other countries are red. So again, these are unigrams, right? Single words. So that is a pretty way, I thought. Instead of looking at it as table format or something, try to look at these associations and try to compare one category versus other. Again, all the words in our corpus are not here. Probably they have 2,000 or 3,000 words from the corpus, because it's difficult for you to see all the words on the visualize them, because one thing, or every word there'll be a word on top of each other. So they're kind of use some algorithm and try to show only those words looks like. And if you, feel free to look at and click on those terms. That way you will be able to understand further what this scatter plot is all about. And if you just try to scroll to the right, say for example, you see those top USA and what is the characteristic, and top USA, and the bottom you see top other countries. So those are the top words which people have used in USA and Ontario, Canada, Canadian, or other, when people have used in other countries. And if you click on any of those characteristics, those things will pop up. Like I said, this is a pretty large thing, so it will take a while. Now that we have worked on Scattertext, I think we'll pause this video, and in the next video we'll try to work on a package called as GenSim. So that way we'll also talk about topic modelings. We'll use the same dataset. And thanks for watching. See you in the next video.